Hey guys, so we are going over the ratios and proportions quiz review PowerPoint. So starting with the first one, this is asking you to show your work to determine if the ratios are proportional or not, and write yes if they are and no if they're not. So there are a bunch of ways that you can do this. For this one, I think the easiest thing is to multiply your diagonals here and see if you get the same thing. So for 40 times 6, that would give you 240. And then for 36 times 10, that would give you 360. So since we get two different answers here when we multiply our diagonals, the answer is no, they are not proportional. If you had gotten the same answer on both sides, then the answer would be yes. Again, this is just one way to solve. In my opinion, it's probably the easiest way. All right, the next one says Callie bought 6 mechanical pencils for $24.50. What is the unit rate for this situation? Set up a proportion to determine how much it would cost for 20 pencils. Show all your work. So we are going to set up a unit proportion to figure out our unit rate as well. All right, so for our unit rate, which is the cost for one, we always put money on top. So our $24.50 is going to go on top for 6 pencils. And we are trying to figure out how much money is it going to cost for one pencil. That would be to find our unit rate. All right, so we are going to multiply our diagonal. So that's 24.50 times 1, which would be 24.50. And we are going to divide that by what is left, which is 6. So 24.50 divided by 6. That is going to give us our unit rate, which would be 4.083 repeating. Since we're talking about money here, that's actually going to be, we're going to round $4.08 per pencil. So that would be your unit rate here. All right, I just scooted my work over here so I could do the next part. So it does say to set up a proportion to determine how much it would cost for 20. So you can do that by doing, we can say $24.50 for 6 pencils. So what would be the cost for 20? So same thing, multiply your diagonal, divide by what's left. Okay, and 24.50 times 20 is going to give us 490. So that's our diagonal here when you multiply, and then we're going to divide by what's left. So divide that by 6. And then 490 divided by 6 is going to give us 81.666. So it's repeating. So if we're talking about money, that's going to be, we're going to round here, $81.67. Now, if you were not setting up a proportion, what you could do is take the price for one pencil and multiply that by 20. So $4.08 times 20, which would give you the answer $81.60. So it's a little bit different, but either one of these would work. Specifically, it did say set up a proportion, so $81.67 should be the correct one. All right, this one we're solving the proportion to figure out the variable. Pretty straightforward. We're going to multiply our diagonal here. So 50 times 15. 50 times 15 gives us 750, and we're going to divide by what's left, which is 8. 750 divided by 8 is going to give us 9,375. So if I look back at my proportion, it's going to cost $93.75 for 15 scarves, since it costs $50 for 8 scarves. All right, this one says use the graph to answer the question, does the graph show direct variation? So if you think back to our notes, the two things that had to be true for a graph to be representing direct variation is it has to be a straight line and it has to go through the origin. This is definitely a straight line, even though it is diagonal, and it does go through the origin, which would be here. So the answer would be yes. And again, you can kind of point out it's a straight line through origin. which is 0, 0. Now, what is the equation for this graph? So since we know it's a straight line, that means it also is proportional, and that means that we can find a k-value. So if you remember, to find the k-value, we always put our y's over our x's. So let's take a look at the first point that they plotted. Our y value here is 20, so that would be 20 over our x value for this first point is 1. Okay, so we get 20 for that first point. That simplifies to 20. Let's check and make sure that really quickly we get 20 for the other ones. So for this one, that would be 40 over 2. That gives me 20. 60 over 3 gives me 20. If you keep going up, you'll notice every point that's there, it does give you 20 as your k-value. So the equation here would be y equals 20x. All right, for this next one, we're using the table to answer the question. So we are going to determine the constant rate or the k-value here. So if I take a look at my first point and put my y value over my x value, because remember k equals your y over your x. So when I do that, I get 5 over 2, okay? Now this can't be simplified anymore. This is as simple as possible. It is improper, so yes, technically you can make this into 2 and 1/2, okay? Either of these would work for your k-value here. Okay, I'm going to leave it as 5 over 2 because it's okay to have improper fractions for this. So our k-value, we're going to make 5 over 2. Now, it's a little tricky because our spots are not all filled out. I want to take you to this one all the way at the end, this point. This is probably going to be the easiest one to figure out. So we want it to be a fraction that would simplify to 5/2. So if our y here is 10, that means our x here would have to be 4. Let me use my other, a 4. Now another way that you could do this, there are a bunch of ways you can do this. One way you could do this is use that first, the k-value 5 over 2, okay? This is our y and this is our x. And we could say, okay, we know our x here is, or sorry, our y here is 10. So let's put 10 on the bottom. And then let's solve to see what our x would have to be. So when you do that, you would multiply your diagonal. So 10 times 2 is 20, and then divide by what's left, which is our 5. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. So that's another way that we can get this answer 4 here. So let's use the same method to figure out what the other missing piece is. So we're still going to use our first proportion. Let me just erase this. We're still going to use our first proportion, or our first rate, I'm sorry, our k-value, 5 over 2. But now we're going to say, okay, what if our x is 3? So our x is on the bottom. Now let's solve for what our y should be. So this time we're going to multiply this diagonal. 5 times 3 is 15. And we're going to divide by what's left. 15 divided by 2. All right, 15 divided by 2, that's going to give us 7.5. So our missing piece here is going to be 7.5 in that table. Okay, again, that's just one way to do it. You could have done it a bunch of different ways. You could have used the y equals, we know 5 over 2x, and plugged in this 3 for your x value, solved it to figure out what your y value should have been, and you would have gotten 7.5. So again, there's a few ways to do this. This is just some of the ways. All right, so they want to know what is the equation. So the equation then would be y equals 5 over 2x. Does the equation go through the point 0, 0? Yes, it does. Remember, if we use this equation, y equals 5 over 2x, if we plug in a 0 for one of the points, either the y or the x, let's plug it in for the x. So y equals 5 over 2 times 0. So we're plugging in a 0 for our x. If we solve this, we end up getting y equals 0. So that means when our x is 0, our y is also 0. So it does go through the origin. And then is this direct variation y or y not? So yes, it's direct variation. It's a straight line. It goes through the origin and it is proportional. All right, let's take a look at this question. After 2 years, a savings account earned simple interest and held $585.75. The original deposit was $550. What was the interest rate? So after 2 years, this was the account balance overall, right? The $585. And the original deposit was $550. So we need to first start this problem by subtracting the ending amount, $585.75, from $550 to figure out how much this person actually earned in just the interest. So when you subtract the two, you should get $35.75. Okay, so that's going to be the interest. All right, so now that's the interest that was accrued. So now let's go ahead and identify the things that we need. It's asking for the interest rate, so we won't know our rate yet, but we can identify from the word problem the interest, the principal, and the time. So the interest we just determined was the $35.75. Oops, $35.75. The principal, the starting value was $550. And then the time, that's going to be 2 years. So now we're going to use our magic equation. Interest equals principal times rate times time to solve for our missing R, interest rate. So let's plug in what we know. Interest, $35.75 equals principal, $550, times rate, we don't know, times 2 years. So the first step here is going to be multiplying 550 times 2. 550 times 2 will be 1,100, and that's going to be times R equals 35.75. And now we just need to solve this equation for R. So we're going to have to divide both sides by 1,100 to solve for R. Oops, I'm running out of room here. All right, so we are going to get our rate, our R equals 35.75 divided by 1,100. In your calculator, you should get 0.0325. Now remember, we have to leave our rate as a percentage, so we need to multiply that by 100 to get the percentage. So another trick is just to slide your decimal place 2 times to the right. So really our rate is going to be 3.25%. So that was the rate that account was going at. All right, Miss Smith and Miss Townsend, go out to Frontera for dinner. The bill is $35.95. Find the total cost of dinner if the tax rate is 7.2 and 15% tip is left on the bill after tax. So first we need to calculate tax, then we need to calculate tip. So in order to calculate tax, we're going to take the $35.95 and we're going to multiply it by the tax rate percentage as a decimal. So we need to slide our decimal twice to the left, which would make it 0.072. So when you multiply that, you get 2.5884. We're talking about money here though, so we're going to take a look at our thousands place, which tells us to round this up to $2.59. So let me change it to blue. $2.59 is going to be how much our tax is going to be. So we now need to take the original price that we had, which was our $35.95, and add in our tax, which is $2.59, and that's going to give us a total of $38.54. And now with that total, we are going to add our tip. So we're going to multiply it by, scoot your decimal place 2 to the left, multiply that by 0.15, which when we do that, we are going to get 5.781, which we're talking about money here again, so that 1 tells us to keep the 8, so $5.78. So the last step here is we are going to take the cost of the bill, including our tax, which is the $38.54, and we are going to now add our tip, which was 5.78, and that will get us our total, which is going to be $44.34.